I'm Lana Moreski. I think in the last couple decades, we've seen a big change in women going into medicine and into law and some of these professions. I mean, quite dramatically, from 4% to now close to 50% in these professions. And one of the big items, one of the big reasons for this, I think, has been the pop culture. As you know, we've had TV shows like Judging Amy and ER. And I think that if we would have, some pilots and some network shows dealing with women in the sciences or women in trades and showing how important, how exciting it is, how fun it is, how it adds to our quality of life, these professions, so they really see what they do every day. Some of these, it's not a lot of the green jobs, for example, and also, women in green jobs too. People don't know actually what they do unless it's in their own family. And so, women in engineering or, even in computer, if it isn't in their own family and they don't see it broadcast widely, I think this is the fastest way to get change. If the women's department could influence Hollywood to make some of these shows, I'm serious, and have quality shows that everybody watches, that's how we're going to get the change of seeing women in some of these professions.
And here I was thinking, are there any playwrights here? But you were asking us. Okay, well, that is a very good suggestion. I definitely will pass it on. Maybe there are, people here, people at the Department of Labor, Secretary, especially Secretary Solis, is from California.
Nancy, we can take one more comment.
And that would be the lady in orange.
I just wanted to mention that Congresswoman Marcia Fudge has recently created this initiative called Emerging Leaders, and I think this is a conversation that could easily be a component of that organization.
Thank you. Andrew Maciejewski from the Ohio State Apprenticeship Council. And all the comments were very wonderful, but what we need from the Department of Labor is guidance and policy. And that, all the talking we're doing today is all fine and dandy, but when the rubber meets the road, we need somebody from higher up in the Department of Labor to not edict, but instruct and guide Ohio and other states of how we can have inclusion.
Thank you. Very well said. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for all your comments and first for being here. And I was kind of eavesdropping of your conversations, a little bit here, a little bit there. There was a really lively discussion and also that very passionate discussion, and I really appreciate that. And from some of the comments that I have heard, for example, I do know that I think first we do need to talk about definition. And that's not just your question. I'm asking too. What is the definition of green jobs? Because in order to conduct these roundtables, first you really have to know, well, what is it? And people are going to ask. And believe me, you know what? There's not a definition yet. The Department of Labor is still working on the definition, and it's going to be published soon. So we're not long to wonder about that. But just from all what you have heard, that you have some ideas that they kind of run in a different spectrum, from the trades. A lot of them will be in the construction-related area, especially the ones that are immediate, that are coming up, because the federal government, the White House has invested a lot in various areas. They're going to be retrofitting. They're going to be deconstruction. They're going to invest in the energy, renewable energy area. So there are a lot, but there are more that we need to explore and so the women are aware of that. I heard a lot talk about data. Yes, data is very important. Without data, Julie understands that very well, and without that, we are not going to be able to present a case why we need to push to advance women into these areas. Mentoring is always important. You know, Catalyst, the organization that promotes women in the corporate sector, that talks about mentorship. Mentoring, especially that women, that according to Catalyst, that women, especially women of color, feels that one of the barriers to advancement is the lack of mentorship. And I like someone who said that mentoring really involves both male and female mentorings. And I know that Terry just talked about a mentor that she had from John, who is the director of the state director of Senator Sherrod Brown's office. And so it doesn't have to be a female, but the combination would be great. Coaching. There are quite a few things. Let me see. What else? In terms of supportive services, I know we have heard a lot. Women tell us that, and we understand that in order to help women to especially break the barriers, go into new careers, support services are very important. Child care services, transportation. These are the kinds that would help women that to be able to really compete in the workforce. So I just touched upon a few, but I really want to thank you for bringing up new ideas and also to support and validate what women all around the country are saying, the kind of things that we need to do to advance women, to help them to get good jobs. And the Secretary has told us, and this is the new vision for the Department of Labor, is that good jobs for everyone. And I think green jobs are good jobs, and that we want good jobs. Here at the event, I want to say good jobs for every woman. So with that, I thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to Terry.
Well, thank you again, and thank you again, Nancy. This has been really incredible. Please check Hard-Headed Women's website. That's where information will be posted, the video from the event as well as the report. You also feel free to, if you have additional comments or you want to write, a letter or anything else, you can certainly forward that to me at Hard-Headed Women. Hardheadedwomen.org is our website. I'm at T. Sandhu at Hard-Headed Women. We're going to be collating all that stuff, and we're going to be sending it directly to Nancy. And as I mentioned, that will go to the Secretary of Labor. We are so excited about what's going to happen in the future. Keep in mind, we are a resource. We are working hard to become Hard-Headed Women Ohio. Kind of a crazy thing to do in a recession, but we know that's the need, and we have some wonderful statewide partners already. We're doing work statewide already. Leadership development is really the core of our model moving forward. We just launched a statewide program called The Crew, where we're going to be recruiting. I hope to have 1,000 women in that by next year. Of women who are already in a non-traditional role, or women and girls who are studying for a non-traditional role. And from that, we will continue to grow. We will find those mentors, we will find those role models, and we're going to be able to begin to transform this reality. So leadership development, supportive services, all of those things you've talked about, we want to be your partner to help make that happen. Thank you again. We do need to clear this room because the City Club needs to get ready for Nancy's speech at noon. But I invite you, if you want to continue to chat, certainly you can use the lobby. Thank you, and for those who are traveling, safe travels.